Right now, we have the latest on the death of Sun Prairie West boys basketball coach.
Plus, the latest on breaking news in western Dane County after a fire broke out earlier this morning. The new details we know right now. Good morning, folks. Welcome to News 3 Now this morning on this Labor Day morning. I'm Josh Breiter.
And I'm Chris Stanford. Thanks for tuning in. Well, it's the last day of summer break for a lot of those kiddos out there who start school tomorrow morning.
It doesn't feel right, but I tell you what, the weather is changing. Savannah Brito is tracking it out on the weather patio, and you've got the coat on this morning, Savannah.
I know I had to pull the coat out. I think Chris is okay. Okay, Chris is I was gonna say Chris is balancing us out with the sunshine tie, but just forget that.
Savannah's got the September scaries this morning.
I do. It's crazy that meteorological fall's already here. We still have technically a few weeks of summer before the equinox is here, but temperatures definitely cooler outside this morning. About 10 degrees cooler than what we had. There was a bird or something that scared me for a second, but we're about 10 degrees cooler than normal. We'll see temperatures warm up. We're checking in, or will be checking in, about 70 at the lunchtime hour. Between lunchtime and dinner time, I think temperatures are going to warm about the mid 70s, most of us lower 70s, but I think we could squeeze a 74 out because we will see lots of sunshine. And our dew points, those are actually low this morning, 46 degrees. Guys, last week we had dew points that were pushing 80 degrees. Remember the start of the week, literally just a week ago today, dew points were still in the upper 70s. So it's much nicer outside this morning.
All right, Savannah, we'll talk to you here in just a little bit. We need to get to some breaking news this morning first. Crews are responding to a structure fire in the town of Vermont in western Dane County.
We've learned that there were 3 people in the home at the time of the fire. Responders cannot confirm if there were any injuries. We also know that 2 dogs were inside the home and 1 was rescued. They do estimate that the home is a total loss from the damage. No confirmation on if there were working smoke detectors or not. We do have a crew at the scene. Again, this fire was at a building on County Highway J that is just north of Tyrrell Basin.
Noon this morning, 2 people are in the hospital with life-threatening injuries after a car crash in Lafayette County. It happened around 7 o'clock last night. Deputies were called to a bridge near the intersection of County Highway F and Mount Pleasant Road. It's in the town of Fayette. Deputies learned the car was headed north, swerved into the gravel shoulder. The driver then overcorrected and crashed into the bridge guardrail on the other side. The car came to a stop after both people inside were ejected. Again, they are facing life-threatening injuries this morning. They were rushed to UW Hospital. The Lafayette County Sheriff's Office says speed and alcohol are factors in the crash as they continue to investigate.
Massive protests erupted last night throughout Israel. Thousands of angry and grieving Israelis surged into the streets after the bodies of 6 hostages held by Hamas were found dead in Gaza. John Lorink reports.
Mass demonstrations throughout Israel, including Tel Aviv, where police used stun grenades to clear crowds and say they arrested more than 24 people Sunday.
I'm all the time at the verge of crying. It's a terrible grief.
The protests are in response to the Israel Defense Forces discovery Saturday of the bodies of 6 hostages in a tunnel in Gaza. Many Israelis are blaming the deaths on their country's leaders for not coming to terms on a ceasefire with Hamas.
They should take responsibility and do the most necessary thing is like release the captives, the captives that you can before it is too late.
While Hamas issued a statement Sunday saying Israel, quote, bears responsibility for the 6 deaths, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu claims Hamas is refusing all ceasefire proposals.
The government of Israel is committed, and I am personally committed, to continue striving towards a deal that will return all of our hostages and ensure our security and our existence.
U.S. officials say despite the hostage deaths, ceasefire talks continue, and the White House is hoping to see results soon.
We should end this war. I think we're on the verge of having an agreement. It's just time to end it.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
President Biden and Vice President Harris are meeting with the U.S. hostage deal negotiating team in the Situation Room today. 3 of the victims were expected to be released in an eventual ceasefire.
Meantime, Israel's labor union has called for an anti-government strike. The strike threatens to shut down the entire Israeli economy. The strike began early this morning. Tel Aviv Airport suspending flights as a result. The strike could impact public service as well as hospitals and healthcare facilities. Schools could also be impacted. Israel's biggest universities say they will all join the strike too.
In some of our other top stories this morning, there is new reaction from UW-Whitewater after the death of Warhawk gymnast Kara Welsh.
Welsh killed in an off-campus shooting on Friday. Whitewater's gymnastics head coach now, Jen Regan, sharing her thoughts in a new statement. Quote, "To put into words the impact Kara had on the Warhawk community is impossible. A powerful athlete, dedicated teammate, and the light in everyone's dark days. Kara truly lifted each and every one of us up in her time as a Warhawk gymnast. There are no words to describe the void we all feel in our hearts, but Kara's legacy will live on through Warhawk gymnastics forever."
Welsh was a senior gymnast at UW-Whitewater. She was described as a master on the vault since her freshman year. Welsh holds 4 of the top 8 scores recorded by a Warhawk gymnast. She won an individual national title, and her team finished second in last year's WIAC championships.
The man accused of killing Kara Welsh faces multiple charges, including first-degree intentional homicide, endangering safety by use of a dangerous weapon, and a disorderly conduct while armed. Police say a confrontation led to that shooting. We are working to find out any more details we can. The man is currently being held in the Walworth County Jail.
That is not the only tragedy impacting UW-Whitewater. New this morning, Sun Prairie West boys basketball coach and former Warhawk Chris Davis Sr. has died. Davis was a Madison native and won a national championship at Whitewater in 2012. He also played football for the Warhawks and won a national championship in that sport. The death was unexpected and the cause is not yet known.
An investigation continues following a fire that left 1 dead on Saturday night. The fire happened in the town of Harris in Marquette County. It started in the garage and then made its way to the house. 1 person was dead, identified as Rebecca Louise Otto, 75 years old, of Montello. The fire is under investigation by the state of Wisconsin's Fire Marshal's Office, Marquette County Sheriff's Office, Harris Fire Department, and the Marquette County Medical Examiner.
3 for the people this morning. Vice presidential nominee Tim Walz will be in Milwaukee today. He is slated to speak at the Milwaukee Area Labor Council's Labor Fest. The Minnesota governor will focus on supporting union workers. He's expected to speak at 2 this afternoon, joined by his wife, Gwen Walz. President Biden will also visit Wisconsin on Thursday. He's set to visit the southwestern part of the state. This will be Biden's first trip to the state since dropping out of the presidential race.
Returning to Wisconsin this week as well, former President Donald Trump. He is set to attend a rally in Mosinee on Saturday. This is after he held a town hall in La Crosse last week. Meanwhile, a number of top Republican surrogates will visit Milwaukee on Thursday. They'll attend a town hall organized by the Trump-Vance campaign. The list includes former Wisconsin Governor Tommy Thompson, Congressman Brian Stile, and Monica Crowley.
This week is the start of school in Madison. This means new beginnings for students and the superintendent. Dr. Joe Gothard begins his first school year as superintendent of Madison schools. He takes the helm of MMSD amid several challenges for the district. They include staffing and bus shortages along with upcoming referendums. The community is also still recovering from pandemic-era issues. He spoke to us on For the Record near La Follette High School.
The students depend on their community around them. And at the time of the pandemic, it became all of a sudden an independent thing. So I think the lack of connection really did place a burden, not just on our students, but on our families and certainly our community. I'm hoping that this year we can restore that connection in new and better ways, and that students and families and staff can feel supported.
Dr. Gothard was also asked about whether the declining enrollment would lead to schools being permanently closed. He says he does not expect any permanent closures, but adds there would be thorough discussions with the school board. You can watch the rest of our conversation and the full For the Record broadcast on channel3000.com.
Well, it is Labor Day, so remember, if you have any errands to run today, you might want to double check that it's open. Federal offices and government buildings are closed. This includes DMVs and local libraries. State and local courts will also not operate today. UPS pickup and delivery not available. Post offices are closed too. Banks will be closed, but ATMs and banking services will still be available. And most large grocery stores and pharmacies will be open today, but you might want to call ahead and check just to make sure.
First Warn meteorologist Savannah Burrito is tracking your upcoming weather forecast. Savannah, what can folks expect for their Labor Day?
Guys, it's definitely chilly outside this morning. These are nighttime or overnight lows already, making it down to 49 so far in Madison, expecting temperatures to still fall a little bit more. We'll have the daytime high in the next couple of days coming up.
Also ahead, the college volleyball world in Milwaukee this weekend. We'll break down how the Badgers are doing.
You're watching News 3 Now this morning, brought to you by Toyota.
It's Toyota's national sales event. Swipe into end of summer fun with an exciting new Toyota. Whether you're paddle boarding in a RAV4, mountain biking in a Tacoma, or tubing with your best friends in a Camry, you'll find plenty to post about all summer long.
Right now, during Toyota's national sales event, you can lease a new Tacoma for $349 a month. Or get 2.99% APR for 60 months on a new Tundra.
Come in today. Ooh, like.
Toyota, let's go places.
I can honestly say that Cardinal has never let me down.
I definitely recommend Cardinal Heating and Air Conditioning because of the professionalism.
Cardinal will always be my first call for anything that Cardinal does.
I think we're going to continue to use Cardinal for a long time.
Oh, another morning to savor the crunchy nooks and cranny splendor of a Thomas's English muffin.
Tom, which is a nook and which is a cranny?
That's a nook, cranny, cranny, nook, cranny. I mean, they should be teaching you this in school. Huzzah! A toast to breakfast.
My day is packed. Client meetings,
patient rounds,
getting kids out the door.
But Eric Hovde thinks all women care about is Hollywood.
It's just deplorable. Sadly, with, females, they spend too much time focused on what's going on in Hollywood.
Well, guess what, Eric Hovde?
We know you supported overturning Roe versus Wade.
And we know you'd vote for a national abortion ban, too.
Eric Hovde must think he knows better than us.
What is wrong with this guy?
I'm Tammy Baldwin, and I approve this message.
I love that my daughter still needs me, but sometimes I can't help due to burning and stabbing pain in my hands. So I use Nervive.
Nervive's clinical dose of ALA reduces nerve discomfort in as little as 7 days.
Now I can help again. Feel the difference with Nervive.
Sometimes Jonah wrestles with falling asleep, so he takes ZzzQuil, the world's #1 sleep aid brand, and wakes up feeling like himself. Get the rest to be your best with non-habit forming ZzzQuil. Better days start with ZzzQuil nights.
Shopping online for a Purple mattress? We get it. With Purple's unique Gel Flex grid and multiple foam layers, you'll experience effortless sleep that's motion adaptive, temperature balanced, pressure relieving, and ultra supportive. But which Purple mattress is right for you? Come to Denver Mattress and test for yourself. During Purple's Labor Day sale, save up to $1,000 on mattress and base bundles and get an instant gift. Shop Purple at Denver Mattress, the easiest way to find your perfect Purple.
Everyone deserves the fastest, most reliable internet speeds, regardless of where they live. That's why Spectrum offers the fastest speeds in more neighborhoods than any other provider.
Switch to Spectrum Internet for only $49.99 a month. Call 1-833-376-4999.
With Spectrum Internet, you can power all of your devices to enjoy streaming, video chatting, and gaming. I rely on Spectrum Internet. You should too. Call now.
Get an 11% rebate on new tools at Menards. Take care of the job with Bosch Power Tools. Menards carries over 75 Bosch tools in stock. Rip, cut, drill, and drive. Bosch 18-volt tools provide the power you need to tackle the toughest jobs. Keep your Bosch Power Tools running with this 18-volt Slim Pack lithium-ion battery for $39.99 after 11% mail-in rebate.
Save big money at Menards.
You're watching News 3 Now this morning. Moving forward.
Well, happy Labor Day Monday, everyone. Weather conditions are going to be very pleasant, almost a late summer-like feel expected later this afternoon. It's definitely a little cooler outside this morning. Temperatures in the upper 40s, even as low as the mid-40s in a couple spots. We'll see temperatures warm around the lunchtime or noon hour, about 70. Between lunchtime and dinner time, I do think most of us will be at 71, 72, 73, but the forecast high today in Madison, a little warmer than that. I think we'll make it up to 74 because we will see clear skies, lots of sun sunshine all day, so expect a beautiful day. The hottest Labor Day on record, 95, that was in 1954. The coldest, 40 in 1967 and 1972. Our wettest was back in 1930. It will be dry today. Like I said, really little to no cloud cover expected. A gorgeous sunrise out there already in Madison. 49 degrees, that was our overnight low so far this morning. I do think we could drop another degree or two, and that's expected again the next couple of nights. But like I said, temperatures warm pretty quickly. The reason behind the dry weather, clear skies and slightly cooler temperatures. We have high pressure overhead as that breaks down as early as some tomorrow, more specifically mid to late week. That'll allow storm chances to return. Nothing severe right now. Just maybe a couple of isolated non-severe thunderstorms, really tracking some rain that Thursday night, Friday morning time frame as the high does break down. But the 80s in the forecast just to our southwest, we will see that move in as the high also breaks down. So warmer weather expected by Wednesday. Really as early as tomorrow, we see temperatures back to seasonal or what's average for this time of year. Then warmer for Wednesday and Thursday. Cooler for the weekend, definitely looking fall-like. Lower 70s for most, like I mentioned. I think we'll make it up to the mid-70s. But then tonight, most areas again are going to fall to that 50-degree mark or even below that. Definitely going to see some widespread 40s, mid to upper 40s though. Not as cool as what we're tracking for the upcoming weekend though. Those overnight lows are going to be even cooler. We're talking about widespread mid to upper 40s across pretty much everyone across southern Wisconsin. Probably won't see any 50s, but that also will not be that long. You can see short-lived as overnight temperatures warm back into the 50s as early as Sunday night, but definitely cool weekend ahead. 65 Saturday, 68 on Sunday.
All right, Savannah, thank you. DirecTV. All right, let's talk about your morning sports. The Badger volleyball team is in Milwaukee for a big tournament. Our Andrew Banster was there and lets us know how the Badgers are doing.
The college volleyball world has converged on Milwaukee, of all places, and the Badgers are right in the thick of it. The State Farm College Volleyball Showcase kicked off with a top 3 matchup and a rematch of last year's national semifinal game. Number 1 Texas against number 3 Wisconsin. It's basically a home game for the Badgers at Fiserv, and they needed it because this one felt as high stakes as it gets. First set, and the Badgers meeting the Longhorns at every single turn. A diving save from Paige Damrow, setting up the National Player of the Year, Sarah Franklin, who comes through. But later, the tides turned. Set point for Texas, and they showed why they are reigning back-to-back national champions. Set 1 goes to the Longhorns. But back came the Badgers, second set, and check this out. Anna Smrek, the 6'9" senior, using every inch to get to that ball and make sure that it finds the ground. Wisconsin would go on to take the second set 25-23, but Texas would take the third set. And then in the fourth, with the Badgers on their heels, the Horns stuck their heel into the ground, winning it in 4 sets and providing the best test that you can get to start the season for Wisconsin volleyball.
We've got work to do if we want to be in a situation where we are competing for championships. Right now, there's a you know, what are we going to be when we get pushed? And tonight they were ready to, you know, they upped their game and we didn't have a response for it.
Just learning that we got to be tougher mentally and we got to show up ready. Those last 2 sets, Kelly talked to us in the locker room that we lost that between our ears, in our mind and mentally. We just got to get tougher, and there's no words we can say to get us there. We just got to do.
Top-ranked Texas takes this round, and as for how it will help Wisconsin going forward in the season, Kelly Sheffield said, "I'm not sure yet, but they'll be right back at it tomorrow, playing number 5 Stanford right here at Fiserv Forum." For now, in Milwaukee, Andrew Banstra, News 3 Sports.
DirecTV subscribers hoping to tune into ESPN or ABC on a Disney-owned TV station are out of luck right now. Disney is in a dispute with DirecTV over a new distribution deal. It's leaving millions of people in the dark. Disney cut off access to subscribers ahead of last night's big college game on the network between the USC Trojans versus the LSU Tigers. Not to mention the start of the NFL season, and Monday Night Football on ESPN is just a week away. Both sides pointed the finger at each other for a breakdown in talks. It's unclear how long that dispute will last. 6:19 right now, still ahead for us on this Labor Day. We'll show you an animal rescue that lasted several days, how they were finally able to get the guy out of a drain pipe.
And we sit down with Madison School District Superintendent Joe Gothard as he's about to start the new school year as well.
And as we wrap up this Labor Day weekend, here's a look at gas prices this morning across the state and across the country. We're back right now.
The First Warn Weather Team takes you beyond the barometer, only on News 3 Now. Save big at Wanakee Furniture ETC. Choose an Amish handcrafted sofa from our showroom or let our design experts customize a look for you during the Smith Brothers factory authorized sale.
Save big on quality Smith Brothers furniture
at Wanakee Furniture ETC.
I'm Eric Hovde, and I approve this message. I was 27 years old, and the doctor told me I have MS. You quickly realize what's the most important things in life: family, friendships, love, helping other people. It makes you much more empathetic and compassionate to those that are struggling and suffering. I wanted to achieve my goals and dreams, but I wanted to take my resources and save as many children as I possibly could.
It's Hy-Vee's Labor Day Grill Out Sale this Friday through Monday. Fresh ground beef, just $2.99 a pound. Mouth-watering New York strips, just $5.88. 6-pack bottles of Pepsi products, just $3.48. Party-size Frito-Lay snacks, queso or salsa, just $3.98. Juicy, whole, seedless watermelon, just $2.99 each. And Hy-Vee hamburger or hot dog buns, just $1. Save in-store and online. Friday through Monday, only at Hy-Vee.
At 1-800-GOT-JUNK, we'll remove any size mattress, just $59. All you have to do is point. Have a box spring too? We'll take both for just $99. Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK.
A little help here? Oh. Keep it down. The noise is making them angry.
Right now, buy one window and you'll get one free. Plus, no interest until 2026.
Call 866 for Feltco.
Here's the secret worth sharing. Robertson, Wisconsin's aesthetic leader, has nurses that specialize in custom treatment plans. Always natural, never overfilled. Time to learn how aging is different at Robertson.
Arby's is full of choices. Quick, you can get your favorite stuff. 3 for $5. Incredible value for a limited time. Reach in and eat whatever you grab. Arby's, we have the meats.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
Everyday prices are too high. Food, rent, gas, back to school clothes. That is called Bidenomics. A loaf of bread costs 50% more today. Ground beef is up almost 50%. There's not much left at the end of the month. Bidenomics is working. The price of housing has gone up. It feels so hard to just be able to get ahead. And we are very proud of Bidenomics.
We went to Ho-Chunk Gaming Madison last night.
I don't really get how the jackpots work.
Ho-Chunk Gaming Madison actually has had multiple million-dollar winners.
There are linked progressive slot machines at the same casino where local players increase the jackpot amount.
And a standalone progressive jackpot increases when a player plays on an individual machine that isn't linked to any other machine. Ho-Chunk Gaming Madison. More ways to win. Find your perfect jackpot.
Ho-Chunk Gaming Madison.
Save big at Wanakee Furniture ETC. Choose an Amish handcrafted sofa from our showroom or let our design experts customize a look for you during the Smith Brothers factory authorized sale.
Save big on quality Smith Brothers furniture
at Wanakee Furniture ETC.
We're back 6:23 on this Labor Day morning, and farmers, of course, laboring all the time. Gwen sharing this shot of them laboring, throwing some bales back into the hay wagon.
Yeah, you got an action shot there. Yeah, bale headed right into the wagon.
I always like the sky part. Like, that's my favorite part. Looks beautiful.
Nice and green. You get all the vibrant colors in there. And of course, yeah, this is the time of the year farmers are gearing up for fall harvest. September now.
Already here.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Holy moly.
So thinking about all of our farmers, and thank you for laboring out there. We know a lot of folks are busy on this Labor Day, so thank you for doing what you do.
Appreciate you. All right, trending this morning, a full-scale effort to save a kitten. Take a look at this. This happened in Milwaukee. A kitten fell down a drain pipe and was stuck for 5 days. A local animal rescue group came to help out. They were having a hard time, though, getting any help from police or fire. But then the reporter covering the story called, and what do you know? The firefighters showed up, helped out, and they got the kitten out safe and sound. They used some treats and some kitty sounds to get the little guy out.
Cue the kitten noises.
Here, kitty, 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 kitty.
And then look at the little guy. They named him Piper.
Piper.
Very
He was
fitting.
stuck in a pipe. How about that?
Glad they were able to rescue
Bet you
him.
Piper doesn't go near that pipe again.
Probably not.
Nope.
Glad to see him, though. All right, check out what Key West, Florida looks like this weekend. They are partying there. It's going to continue today, all to honor Jimmy Buffett. Yesterday was the first anniversary of his death. The parade that they had on the island in Key West, where Buffett lived during some of his most productive years here, developing his tropical rock style and laid-back persona. The celebrations will wrap up today with concerts and beach parties.
Now all I have is Margaritaville in my head.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Since you brought that up last hour, I was like, yep, do the margarita song.
Right, and, you know, we're trying to hang on to summer.
I know.
Too. We have, you know, Labor Day weekend, the unofficial end of summer. Just a great weekend out there. Man, you couldn't ask for a much better weekend in Madison.
I know,
for Labor
and
Day.
those nice weather conditions we had over the weekend are going to continue. Luckily, Chris has his yellow tie on. Cue the summer.
Sunshine.
We still have, yes, lots of sunshine in the forecast today. Temperatures will be beautiful too. We'll see those climb probably lower, maybe a couple of mid-70s out there, but the next couple of days warmer than that. So enjoy today while we do have the lower dew points, comfortable weather. Rain's going to return not until late week, but the weekend definitely fall-like, just in time for the next Badgers football game. It'll feel really cool out there, but comfortable.
That's football weather for you.
Oh yeah, it definitely is.
Thank you, Savannah.
We're back right after this.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
We know the fentanyl coming from Mexico and China is a threat here in Wisconsin.
It's why Tammy Baldwin is working to stop it.
And Tammy passed the bipartisan Fend Off Fentanyl Act.
It takes on the Mexican cartels and the fentanyl coming from China.
And Tammy Baldwin voted 32 times to strengthen our border.
32 times to increase border patrols.
And technology to keep illegal drugs out. Because Senator Baldwin knows
keeping us safe is her first priority.
Tell Tammy Baldwin to keep securing our borders.
Save big money with these hot deals at Menards. All prices after 11% rebate. Single roll paper towels are just 69 cents. A 4-tier plastic shelving unit, only $15.99. 12 packs of Shasta soda, only $3.99. Plus, it's your last chance to grab indoor furniture. Once it's gone, it's gone. These hot deals won't last long. Hurry in before time runs out. Sign up for Menards emails to get more hot deals, plus the weekly flyer right to your inbox.
Save big money at Menards.
Everyone deserves the fastest, most reliable internet speeds, regardless of where they live. That's why Spectrum offers the fastest speeds in more neighborhoods than any other provider. So switch to Spectrum and get a powerful network that connects nearly 500 million devices.
Switch to Spectrum Internet for only $49.99 a month with free modem, no data caps, and no contracts. Plus, save with our 2-year price guarantee when you level up to a gig. Call 1-855-735-1336 or scan to call.
With Spectrum Internet, you can power all of your devices to enjoy streaming, video chatting, and gaming with the most reliable internet speeds. Get a powerful network that millions of customers rely on. I rely on Spectrum Internet. You should too.
Switch to Spectrum Internet for only $49.99 a month with 99.9% network reliability, no added taxes or hidden fees, and no contracts. Plus, save with our 2-year price guarantee. Call 1-855-735-1336.
Call now.
I can honestly say that Cardinal has never let me down.
Cardinal is the place to go for any type of work that you need done around your home.
The kindness, the efficiency, the professionalism, the respect,
was amazing.
We were very impressed with their cleanliness.
I definitely recommend Cardinal Heating and Air Conditioning because of the professionalism, the communication they provided.
Cardinal will always be my first call for anything that Cardinal does.
I think we're going to continue to use Cardinal for a long time.
After my son was born, I was having a hard time leaving him, only being able to see him once before going to work and then once before bed. That's just not enough time.
At my old job, my entire check went to daycare to pay to be away from my child. We bring our kids with us in the mornings and they ride with us on our routes and then they go to school.
I'm on a route where I'm the one dropping my kids off at school. It's been phenomenal.
Being able to bring them with me has been really great for our family.
This morning, new reaction after the death of a gymnast at UW-Whitewater. What the head coach is saying.
Plus, a new school year for MMSD is the first for their new superintendent. We hear from him ahead of the first day of school.
Oh, good Labor Day to everyone out there. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Chris Stanford.
And I'm Josh Ryder. Kyron Lee has the morning off. I tell you what, picture perfect weekend weather, right?
Doesn't get much better.
It's hard to get even one good day, and we're getting like 3 in a row.
Yeah, but it feels like things are starting to turn out there. You know, from Friday night, you know, it was warm, like warmer on Friday, warm on Saturday. Starting to cool down a little bit now. Savannah Brito out on the patio this morning. You'll never believe what she is wearing.
Hey, Chris is literally just throwing shade this morning. I have my jacket on. If people get cold,
we'll get you acclimated. We'll get you acclimated.
All right. Maybe by winter I'll be wearing, you know, shorts or something. The flip-flops, I don't know.
Be very Wisconsin of you.
Yeah. Temperatures, guys, this morning, they're going to warm into the lower 70s. By that lunchtime hour, I do think we'll make it into the mid-70s here in Madison and a couple of surrounding areas. Beautiful sunrise outside this morning, but sunshine is luckily going to continue. Our cooler temperatures slightly below average. Only today we'll see a rise, so up the roller coaster we go, but then down the roller coaster as we get closer to this weekend. Friday and more specifically Saturday and Sunday going to be a lot cooler. Have to get through those rain chances first. I think mid to late week, Thursday night into Friday, that's our next better chance. Right now, nothing looks to stand out the most aside of Thursday night, so we're staying with the non-active pattern. Sunshine the next several days. Enjoy the beautiful conditions we're going to have for Labor Day. We'll time out hour by hour the forecast as far as temperatures go, and then also how cool this upcoming weekend is going to be for the first full weekend of September, guys.
All right, Savannah, thank you. We want to get back to some breaking news this morning. A house in the town of Vermont believed to be a total loss.
This is after a fire overnight. The call came in around 1:50 this morning. The fire was at a building on County Highway J. That is a mile north of Tyrrell Basin. We've learned that there were 3 people in the home at the time of the fire. Investigators cannot confirm if there are any injuries, though. We do know 2 dogs were inside the home. 1 was rescued. They do estimate the home is a total loss due to all the damage. Crews have left the scene, and we are working out to find new information, and we'll provide you those updates coming up on channel3000.com.
New this morning, 2 people in the hospital with life-threatening injuries after a car crash in Lafayette County. It happened around 7 o'clock last night. Deputies were called to a bridge near the intersection of County Highway F and Mount Pleasant Road. That's in the town of Fayette. Deputies learned the car was headed north, swerved into the gravel shoulder, overcorrected, and crashed into the bridge guardrail on the other side. The car came to a stop after 2 people were ejected. They are suffering life-threatening injuries this morning. They were rushed to a hospital. The Lafayette County Sheriff's Office says speed and alcohol were factors as they continue to investigate.
There's new reaction this morning from UW-Whitewater after the death of Warhawk gymnast Kara Welsh.
Welsh was killed in an off-campus shooting on Friday. Whitewater's head gymnastics coach, Jen Reagan, now sharing her thoughts, saying that to put into words the impact Kara had on the Warhawk community is impossible. A powerful athlete, dedicated teammate, and the light in everyone's dark days. Kara truly lifted each and every one of us up in her time as a Warhawk gymnast. There are no words to describe the void we all feel in our hearts, but Kara's legacy will live on through Warhawk gymnastics forever.
Welsh was a senior gymnast at UW-Whitewater. She was described as a master on the vault since her freshman year. Welsh holds 4 of the top 8 scores recorded by a Warhawk gymnast. She won an individual national title, and her team finished 2nd in last year's WIAC championships.
Now, as far as the man accused of killing Kara Welsh goes, he is facing multiple charges this morning. They include first-degree intentional homicide, endangering safety by use of a dangerous weapon, and disorderly conduct while armed. Police say a confrontation led to the shooting. The man is currently being held in the Walworth County Jail.
So that is not the only tragedy impacting UW Whitewater. New this morning, Sun Prairie West boys basketball coach and former Warhawk Chris Davis Sr. has died. Davis was a Madison native and won a national championship at Whitewater in 2012. He also played football for the Warhawks and won a national championship in that sport. The death was unexpected and the cause is not yet known.
An investigation continues following a fire that left one person dead on Saturday night. It happened in the town of Harris in Marquette County. It started in the garage and traveled to the house. The person killed in the fire has been identified as 75-year-old Rebecca Louise Otto of Montello. Officials continue to investigate.
3 for the People this morning. Vice presidential nominee Tim Walz will be in Milwaukee later today. He is slated to speak at the Milwaukee Area Labor Council's Labor Fest. The Minnesota governor will focus on supporting union workers. He's expected to speak at 2 o'clock this afternoon, joined by his wife, Gwen Walz. President Biden will also visit Wisconsin this week. He's set to visit the southwestern part of the state on Thursday. This will be his first trip to the state since dropping out of the presidential race.
Returning to Wisconsin this week as well, former President Trump. He is set to attend a rally in Mosinee on Saturday. This is after he held a town hall in La Crosse last week. Meanwhile, a number of top Republican surrogates will visit Milwaukee on Thursday. They'll attend a town hall organized by the Trump-Vance campaign. The list includes former Wisconsin Governor Tommy Thompson, Congressman Brian Stile, and Monica Crowley.
This week is the start of school in Madison. This means new beginnings for students and the superintendent. Dr. Joe Gothard begins his first school year as superintendent of Madison schools. He takes the helm of MMSD amid several challenges for the district. They include staffing and bus shortages along with upcoming referendums. The community is also still recovering from pandemic-era issues. He spoke to that about that on For the Record.
Students depend on their community around them, and at the time of the pandemic, it became all of a sudden an independent thing. So I think the lack of connection really did place a burden, not just on our students, but on our families and certainly our community. I'm hoping that this year we can restore that connection in new and better ways, and that students and families and staff can feel supported.
Dr. Gothard was also asked about whether the declining enrollment would lead to schools being permanently closed. He says he does not expect any permanent closures, but adds there would be thorough discussions with the school board. You can watch the rest of our conversation and the full For the Record broadcast on channel3000.com.
6:36 now. South of Madison, residents of one Wisconsin town are upset over racist flyers posted around town. The flyers were found in an Elkhorn neighborhood in an unusual way. Kelly Milan reports.
Police shared surveillance footage they obtained that shows a sedan driving near Meadow Lane and East First Avenue early Sunday morning. Investigators believe this vehicle may be connected to the person who distributed what they're calling Aryan flyers. Residents we talked to feel concerned.
During a neighborhood walk, I noticed on the ground some baggies with a notice in it, and it looked like seeds. So I kicked one over and looked at it, and it was something about white power, and I just left it where it is.
These flyers, promoting a white nationalist organization, were found in a very unusual way, inside Ziploc bags filled with birdseed, presumably to weigh them down. They were scattered throughout the neighborhood, including where Ruth found them on her Sunday morning walk.
Mailboxes, I suppose that's what they were doing, putting them in the mailboxes. And I think I saw 3 of them.
Okay.
So,
and they were
just right in the gutter.
Mary Valdez recently moved to Elkhorn and just learned about the flyers.
I feel no type of way. I am the skin color that I am. I can't do nothing about that. I wouldn't say people are entitled to the opinions they are, but, spreading hate across the world when we were all humans. If you cut me as a black person, I'm gonna bleed red. If I cut you as a white person, you will also bleed red.
Mary said this kind of rhetoric does not faze her, but she has a simple message.
There's no need to spread hatred. If you have hatred against a certain race, that is up to you as a human being. Just don't spread it around. It's not good.
Both Ruth and Mary say this is a disturbing incident for a community they describe as friendly and welcoming.
I haven't encountered any racist act against me. The neighbors are really nice.
This is sort of out of the box for this neighborhood, I would say.
A neighborhood and community that did not ask for the flyers, now wanting to make sure this kind of thing is not representative of where they live.
That was Kelly Milan reporting. An investigation is underway. It's unclear, though, if any laws were broken. Anyone with information should contact the Elkhorn Police Department.
To the Middle East this morning, children in the Gaza Strip are receiving much-needed polio vaccinations. The UN-led campaign is set to be carried out over the 3-day periods. It runs through September 12th. The main UN agency in Gaza has set ambitious targets for the campaign. They're pledging to immunize 640,000 children in the enclave. That's about 90% of children under 10.
Meantime, a labor strike in Israel, part of the protests going on against the government. That was the ruling by a court. The decision came in the last half hour. The strike began after the Israeli military found the bodies of 6 hostages. Many Israelis are blaming the deaths on their country's leadership for not coming to terms on a ceasefire with Hamas. Meantime, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu claims that Hamas is refusing a ceasefire deal. Today, President Joe Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris are slated to meet with the U.S.'s negotiating team.
Brazilians have lost access to X. The popular social media platform missed a court-imposed deadline on Saturday to name a legal representative. This triggered its suspension, but it's part of a months-long feud between the Supreme Court judge and the investor. The feud centers around an investigation into misinformation, far-right accounts, and hate speech on the app. Elon Musk accused the judge of undermining free speech after the judge ordered certain accounts to be blocked. The suspension could cause X to lose one of its largest and most coveted markets. This is during a time when Musk struggled with ad revenue for the platform.
6:40 coming up after the break. We'll show you the best deals in back-to-school tech.
And today is the second full day of September. We'll recap or have an outlook on what's expected for meteorological fall.
The Labor Day doorbuster deals Friday through Monday at Slumberland Furniture. Up to 60% off list. Get this comfy new sectional for just $9.97 and get the ottoman free. A free recliner with the reclining sofa. Only at Slumberland Furniture.
My son Joshua was 18 years old when he was murdered by an illegal alien. He was tortured, strangled to death, and then set on fire. When I hear Kamala Harris making a joke about the border and just laughing it off, it's painful. Kamala Harris was in charge of securing our border, and she's done nothing. If Kamala Harris is elected president, it'll get worse. If it can happen to my family, it can happen to yours.
Preserve America PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
At 1-800-GOT-JUNK, we'll remove any size mattress, just $59. All you have to do is point. Have a box spring too? We'll take both for just $99. Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK.
With Sweeto Metal Roofing, you get quality metal roofs installed by the best in the business. A metal roof means no fading, no storm repairs, true sustainability, and lower energy bills.
Sweeto Metal Roofing, the last roof you'll ever need.
Imagine trying to take on one of the big car companies. It's not easy. Yet this year, one local law firm finalized the largest compensatory verdict in state history against an automaker, over $38 million. And it was no fluke. That same firm has been holding big car companies accountable for faulty designs that cause injury for over 50 years. Because Wisconsinites know who to call when it's a must-win scenario. They call Habish, Habish & Rotier. National reputation, hometown service.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
Everyday prices are too high. Food, rent, gas, back to school clothes. That is called Bidenomics. A loaf of bread costs 50% more today. Ground beef is up almost 50%. There's not much left at the end of the month. Bidenomics is working. The price of housing has gone up. It feels so hard to just be able to get ahead. And we are very proud of Bidenomics.
Everyone has their own idea of what fitness means to them. Here's what it means to us. We believe fitness can be more than exercise, that it can build a better tomorrow. It can change how you feel. It can build more than muscle. It can build community. And no matter what your reason, the common goal is simple. It's for a better tomorrow. Join us. for a better tomorrow.
I'm exhausted. Shopping for a mattress is just so confusing.
Sounds like mattress shopophobia. At Slumberland, our sleep counselors are here to help you find the best mattress without any pressure.
But awesome pressure relief.
Slumberland. Stop stressing, start sleeping.
3 for the people.
We should all be able to control our own reproductive lives.
I'm tackling the topic of women's reproductive rights and letting you know exactly where the candidates stand on this pivotal issue to help you cast an informed vote on Election Day, Tuesday at 6.
Moving forward in your community, lending helping hands, spotlighting the people, telling the stories, warning you first. Your local news source for nearly 70 years. News 3 Now, moving forward. You're watching News 3 Now this morning, moving forward.
We're back here at 644, talking about back to school. Those kiddos are going to need plenty of technology to get homework done. Consumer Reports just tested out several different options to help you find one in your budget, and here's what they found.
With nearly everything costing more these days, Consumer Reports' extensive product testing shows you don't have to spend a lot to get quality tech for your student. One of the best options for a tight budget? A Chromebook.
They're generally less expensive than Mac and PC laptops. They're not the fastest computers out there. But for kind of everyday stuff, browsing the web, editing documents, that type of thing, school work type of stuff, they're totally fine.
This Acer Chromebook is a solid budget choice. It's fast, has a long battery life, and more local storage than most other Chromebooks. If your student needs something that won't weigh down their backpack on a mad dash to class, CR says this laptop from Lenovo is an excellent choice for portability, and its ergonomics are near top level. If your student wants an Apple,
save a little bit of money and still get a very good Mac laptop.
With the 13-inch MacBook Air with the M2 processor, the M2 is Apple's older processor, but CR's experts say the performance difference between the M2 and the newer processor is so small that you might as well save a few bucks by going with the previous model. If your student also needs a color printer, this tank model from Epson uses low-cost bottled ink instead of expensive cartridges. While the overall printing performance isn't strong enough to earn a CR recommendation, the text quality and speed should be fine for printing book reports and whatever else the teacher assigns. This is Michelle Renee Quinn.
6:46 right now. We want to turn it over to meteorologist Savannah Brito, keeping an eye on a road closure at this hour. Savannah?
Yes, thank you guys. We had an incident reported around 6:15 near Beloit. This is off of Highway 51, kind of near downtown off of Grand Avenue, kind of by the YMCA and those restaurants on that strip downtown Beloit. We're working to find out what it is. We will continue to break in and cut in as needed, but both of those lanes on US Highway 51 are closed at this hour. Meteorological fall is here, though. We actually, September 1st kicked off yesterday. Today, the second full day of meteorological fall. That consists of September, October, and November. Temperatures are going to quickly decline through the fall. 78, that's our average high the first of the month. By the end of the month, 67, October 67 down to 53, and November 52 down to 38. So some chilly, especially nighttime temperatures are on the way. We're actually waking up right now only into the 40s across most of southern Wisconsin. I do think temperatures will warm fairly quickly, but expect a few degrees below normal daytime highs later this afternoon. In between lunchtime and dinner time, most of our highs climb to 71, 72, 73. I do think a couple areas could reach 74, 75, so the mid-70s. That is the forecast in Madison today. Clear skies because of high pressure overhead. That doesn't necessarily break down until about midweek. That's allowing showers to kind of increase Thursday night into Friday, but dry conditions, lots of sunshine anticipated up until then. Temperatures are going to warm, like I mentioned, most of us lower, couple of mid-70s under mostly sunny skies, mostly clear tonight. I do think we'll see a few clouds increasing, some patchy fog developing after we head till about that 1-2 a.m. hour, and we fall, most of us mid to upper 40s, a couple of us hanging on to 50 degrees. I think we could hold on to that 50 because of some higher level clouds that kind of build in across southern Wisconsin and the Madison area. at least here locally, a part of Dane County. And then tomorrow, most of us in the mid, maybe a couple of upper 70s. I think that definitely will increase as far as Wednesday, Thursday go, but then a cold front's going to cool us down. So we go from 77 Tuesday down to 80 Wednesday and Thursday, not as cool as Friday. And this weekend, this upcoming weekend, definitely going to be fall-like. If you like that pattern, you'll enjoy Saturday and Sunday. Right now, just tracking a slight chance of showers, but check out those overnight lows Friday and Saturday night. We're talking about probably as low as the mid to upper 40s. So definitely cold, all relative, Chris, right?
just wait.
I know, I'm not ready.
All right, because in January, 48 is going to sound amazing.
I know, you're right. That'll be warm.
All right, thank you, Savannah.
A new school year means it is high school football season.
Yeah, but with recent deaths of teenage football players, it's again raising concerns about safety in the sport. So there's a new push to require young football players to wear Guardian caps. They're protective soft shell helmet coverings. The NFL trialed Guardian caps during preseason practices in recent seasons, and here's what the NFL said they found.
As a result of the last 2 seasons, we saw about a 50% decrease in concussions in the positions that were mandated to wear them. So, of course, we said, okay, all positions will now wear them in this preseason.
One potential roadblock to requiring the caps in youth sports is cost, though. Each Guardian cap costs $70. When bought in bulk, the price is $56. Meanwhile, there are growing calls to do away entirely with tackle football for kids under the age of 14.
6:50 right now. Coming up in the morning sprint, what could soon be banned from school cafeterias.
If you got a little kiddo turning 3 soon, let us know. We'll show their picture on TV. We'll be right back.
Sponsored by Three Bears Resort, Indoor Water Park and Conference Center in Warrens, Wisconsin.
A1 Furniture and Mattress is closing their giant showroom, and that means the best prices ever. Everything must go. Over $1 million in inventory must be sold. Name brands at huge discounts for every room. Store closing sale on now at A1 Furniture and Mattress.
Here's a few things I believe. Middle-class families, like the one I grew up in, they want common sense solutions. You want lower prices and lower taxes. I believe you want to just not get by, but you want to get ahead. We must create an opportunity economy where everyone has a chance to get a car loan, buy a home, start a business. But most of all, that instead of being focused on the politics of the past, we need to be thinking about the future. I'm Kamala Harris, and I approve this message.
To everyone out there who loves Culver's,
the feeling is mutual. Everything's made fresh.
Everything. Everything.
It's our pleasure.
This is me and my happy place.
I wouldn't trade our Culver's for any other restaurant.
Culver's.
Yay! We love our guests.
Love.
Love.
As much as our guests love us.
This is me and my happy place.
From Wisconsin with love.
Welcome to Delicious.
Yeah.
I will make it a top priority to bring down costs for all Americans.
Her plan? She'll take on big oil and drug companies who rip us off, penalize big corporations who price gouge us on food and gas, and make billionaires pay their fair share.
Donald Trump fights for billionaires and large corporations. I will fight to give money back to working and middle-class Americans.
Climate Power Action and FFPAC are responsible for the content of this ad.
Shop from the largest selection of Chevy trucks and SUVs in Wisconsin at Bergstrom Chevrolet. All with Bergstrom's negotiation-free upfront pricing, including our exclusive 7-day price protection and money-back guarantees. Stop in or shop and purchase at BergstromChevrolet.com.
You work hard enough. Take a load off this Labor Day with new appliances from Brothers Maine. Celebrate the holiday with unbeatable deals on top brands like GE Appliances, Cafe, Hotpoint, and Haier. Don't miss out. Shop the Labor Day sale at Brothers Maine today.
The burn pit at our base in Iraq had just shut down, but the poisons were around us everywhere. Back home, I got diagnosed with cancer, but the VA denied coverage to a lot of us who got sick. Tammy Baldwin knew that was wrong, and she wasn't going to let that stand. She worked with both parties to pass a law. So now, thousands of us exposed to toxic chemicals are getting the care that we deserve. It took a fight, but Tammy Baldwin, she's a hell of a fighter.
I'm Tammy Baldwin, and I approve this message.
A1 Furniture and Mattress is closing their giant showroom, and that means the best prices ever. Everything must go. Over $1 million in inventory must be sold. Name brands at huge discounts for every room. Store closing sale on now at A1 Furniture and Mattress.
Eric Franke, News 3 Now at 5, 6, and 10. Moving forward.
6:53, time for the morning sprint.
An update to breaking news of a structure fire in the town of Vermont. We've learned this morning crews believe that home is a total loss. 3 people were inside when the fire broke out around 2 o'clock this morning. Officials are not confirming if any of them were injured. We do know there were 2 dogs. One of them was rescued. We'll provide more updates as we get them on channel3000.com.
Happening today, Vice Presidential candidate Tim Walz will be in Milwaukee. He's slated to speak at the Milwaukee Area Labor Council's Labor Fest. The Minnesota governor will focus on supporting union workers. He's expected to talk at 2 o'clock this afternoon. He was last in Wisconsin 2 weeks ago during the Democratic National Convention. That appearance was also in Milwaukee.
Former President Trump will also be in Wisconsin this week. He is set to attend a rally in Mosinee on Saturday. This is after he held a town hall in La Crosse last week. Meanwhile, a number of top Republican surrogates will visit Milwaukee on Thursday. They include former Governor Tommy Thompson.
New this morning, Sun Prairie West boys basketball coach and former UW Whitewater basketball player Chris Davis Sr. has died. Davis was a Madison native and won a national championship at Whitewater in 2012. He also played football for the Warhawks and won a national championship in that sport. The death was unexpected. The cause is not yet known.
Well, today is Labor Day, and that means a number of closures. Federal offices and government buildings will be closed. This includes the DMVs and local libraries. Also not open today are state and local courts. UPS pickup and delivery will not be available. Post offices are closed. Banks will be closed, but ATMs and banking services will be available.
Protests in Israel are escalating as the country's largest labor union goes on strike. The unrest erupted over the weekend after the Israeli military found the bodies of 6 hostages. Many Israelis are blaming the deaths on their country's leaders for not coming to terms on a ceasefire with Hamas. Today, the White House will meet with the U.S.'s negotiating team.
In California, artificial dyes may soon be banned in public school cafeterias. Governor Gavin Newsom is weighing whether to sign the first of its kind ban. The bill would prohibit foods and drinks containing 6 synthetic colorings that have been linked to behavioral issues in kids. If approved, the ban would take effect in December of 2027.
We do have a first warn traffic alert this morning. Both lanes off U.S. Highway in Beloit 51 are closed. This is due to a domestic dispute. We're continuing to kind of check in and find out more. We will have the latest information. Labor Day looking good, though. Temperatures are going to warm, lower to mid-70s. Lots of sunshine. At least we'll see dry conditions. That continuing into midweek. But then by Thursday and Friday, towards the end of this upcoming week, that's when temperatures cool down. And also, we have a chance of rain that's going to return to the forecast. Cool fall-like looking weekend ahead, though.
All right, Savannah, thank you.
We'll have another news and weather update in 30 minutes.